A very good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News on Rajya Sabha television, where we get you the top developing news stories at the top of one. I'm Ashwara and here are the headlines. India and Singapore conclude a second review of their Comprehensive Economic Cooperation Agreement, ink 8 MOUs, including one on logistics cooperation between the navies of both sides. Prime Minister's address to articulate regional security issues at a ShangriLa Dialogue later today. Enforcement Directorate attaches assets worth 4,701 crore rupees of Gujarat-based pharma company, action in connection with the 5,000 crore rupees bank fraud case, one of the biggest attachments under stringent Prevention of Money Laundering Act this year. Security forces on high alert in Jammu and Kashmir. Reports of large-scale infiltration by militants in valley from across the line of control. 20 Jaish-e-Mohammed militants are believed to have infiltrated. EU, Canada and Mexico plan tit-for-tat measures after US tariffs on steel and aluminium imports from these countries. European Union calls it a bad day for world trade, says it will take action at the World Trade Organization. And Rohan Bopanna and his French partner enter pre-quarterfinals of men's doubles in the French Open. Rafael Nadal, Marin Cilic and Dominic Thiem enter the third round of men's singles. Sharapova, Muguruza and Halep also in round 3 in the women's singles. Our top story this afternoon, India and Singapore have signed 8 MOUs following talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Singapore counterpart. The key being India and Singapore concluding the second review of the Comprehensive Economic Cooperation Agreement, or CECA, and agreeing to improve access for businesses in each other's markets. The review includes enhancements such as expanded tariffs concession for an additional 30 products and also improved rules for providing more flexibility for exports. And in the field of defense, the navies of the two nations have signed an agreement on logistics cooperation, and they will also celebrate the 25th anniversary of the annual India-Singapore Maritime Bilateral Exercise this year. The two nations are also collaborating on technology, smart cities and skill development as reflected in the MOUs.
हमने अपनी सामरिक साझेदारी में डिफेंस और सिक्योरिटी के महत्व पर जोर दिया है। इन संबंधों में लगातार वृद्धि का हम स्वागत करते हैं। सिम्बेक्स के 25वें वर्ष पर मैं भारत और सिंगापुर की नौसेनाओं को बधाई देता हूं। शीघ्र ही हम त्रिपक्षीय नौसैनिक अभ्यास भी शुरू करेंगे।
It shows that our economic ties are substantial and that we want to do more together. Since we signed the CECA in 2004, our bilateral trade has more than doubled from 12 billion Sing dollars now to 25 billion Sing dollars. Singapore is now the second largest investor in India, with a cumulative FDI from the year 2000 to 2016 at 36 billion Singapore dollars.
And earlier this morning, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was accorded a ceremonial welcome at Istana, the official residence of the President of the Republic of Singapore. Prime Minister Modi also called on Singapore President Halima Yacob. Prime Minister of Singapore, Lee Hsien Loong, was also present during the event. And after the official lunch hosted by the Singapore Prime Minister Modi visited the Nanyang Technical University.
प्रधानमंत्री ली और मैंने वैश्विक और क्षेत्रीय चुनौतियों पर अपनी चिंताओं को साझा किया। हम दोनों ने मैरीटाइम सिक्योरिटी पर अपने सैद्धांतिक विचारों की पुनः पुष्टि की और रूल बेस्ड ऑर्डर के प्रति अपनी प्रतिबद्धता दिखाई है। आने वाले समय में साइबर सिक्योरिटी और अतिवादी तथा आतंकवाद से निपटना हमारे सहयोग के महत्वपूर्ण क्षेत्र होंगे।
And all eyes will be on Prime Minister Narendra Modi today as he delivers the keynote address at the ShangriLa Dialogue in Singapore. It will be the first time that an Indian Prime Minister will speak at the dialogue. Now, since its launched in 2002, the ShangriLa Dialogue has emerged as a premier track one conversation among top leaders, key ministers and defence representatives from Asia. It is expected that Prime Minister Modi will speak about the security in the Indo-Pacific region and also India's role in a world undergoing geopolitical flux. He is also likely to outline how India sees the regional security architecture evolving to foster greater dialogue and address emerging challenges in the region. This includes the role India intends to play in platforms like the ASEAN-India Summit, the East India Forum, etc. And tomorrow, U.S. Secretary of Defense James Mattis will speak at the dialogue on U.S. leadership and challenges in the region.
आज शाम शांग्रीला डायलॉग में मैं इंडो पैसिफिक क्षेत्र में शांति और समृद्धि के प्रति भारत के दृष्टिकोण को यह अभिव्यक्त करना चाहता हूं.
All right, let's get a perspective on the story. Akhilesh Suman, my colleague, is now joining us live from the newsroom. Akhilesh, today Prime Minister Modi highlighting that maritime cooperation, security, peace in the Indo-Pacific region are the key focus areas between India and Singapore after he met his Singaporean counterpart, and that was also reflected in the 8 MOUs that were signed between the two nations.
Yeah, that's right, Aishwarya. But other than that, he has also mentioned very categorically that India and Singapore have signed an agreement regarding logistical arrangement between the two countries. And this logistical arrangement is very important as far as the defense cooperation is concerned. You know that if you have a logistical cooperation between the two countries, you can not just park your ships at the designated places, and you can use all the ports, strategic ports that are there between the two countries. So it is one of the major agreements that has been signed between India and Singapore. And given the fact that Singapore, like other ASEAN countries in the region, is also facing the same sort of suspicion and misunderstanding about increasing confrontation between China and other nations about hegemonistic attitude. And in this context, India's presence in the whole region is very well accepted. Almost every country in ASEAN says that India should increase its active participation. And when Prime Minister Narendra Modi talks about maritime security and also he talks about prosperity, he means the two things will give peace in the whole region, because ASEAN has been developed as a model forum for cooperation among the regional countries, and it has also dialogue relationship, dialogue partnership with all the major powers of the world. So it works on two fronts, one on the development and prosperity front and other on the defense and security front. So India and Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that he will deliver his own understanding and his own point of view about both the issues when he is going to speak about ShangriLa Dialogue in the evening. Aishwarya.
All right. Thank you so much, Akhilesh, for all those updates. So all eyes will be on Prime Minister Narendra Modi as he is going to be giving the keynote address at the ShangriLa Dialogue, he being the first Indian Prime Minister to do so. We'll keep getting you all the updates on that big story. Meanwhile, let's move on in the bulletin now. After India retained the fastest growing major economy tag, Finance Minister Piyush Goyal has asserted that nation's economy is on the right track. India's GDP grew at the fastest pace in 7 quarters at 7.7% in January to March. And following the report, Goyal added that the nation is now set to achieve even higher growth in the future, highlighting that the manufacturing and construction sectors also provide employment. Goyal said that an immense growth in the field of manufacturing, agriculture and construction has also been recorded.
A continuous trend line विकास की देखने को मिल रही है. इसमें एग्रीकल्चर भी ग्रो हुआ है, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में 9% से अधिक ग्रोथ हुई है, कंस्ट्रक्शन सेक्टर में 11.5% ग्रोथ हुई है, और ख़ास तौर पे मैन्युफैक्चरिंग और कंस्ट्रक्शन ये दोनों लोगों को नए नए रोजगार के काम करने के अवसर भी देती है. तो मैं समझता हूँ ये हम सबके लिए खुशी की बात है कि देश तेजी से आर्थिक प्रगति कर रहा है. ग्रॉस कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन में भी लगभग 10% की वृद्धि हुई है.
And the centre has approved the construction of 1,50,000 houses for urban poor under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. The Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry has said that the latest approval has an investment of 7,227 crore rupees with a central assistance of 2,209 crore rupees. Andhra Pradesh was sanctioned more than 56,000 houses, while Uttar Pradesh got nearly 23,000. Madhya Pradesh around 18,000 and Jharkhand got more than 14,000 and Maharashtra around 13,500 houses. And other states for which houses were approved included Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Odisha, Punjab and Assam. On to some other news, the government has set a target of doubling the tourist inflow and income from tourism in India in the next 3 years. Tourism Minister K.J. Alphonse said this as he issued safety and quality guidelines for adventure tourism in India. Releasing the guidelines in New Delhi, Alphonse said that India has immense potential for adventure tourism ranging from the Himalayas to the coastal regions. He said that these guidelines are beginning to building adventure tourism in the country. These guidelines cover land, air and water-based activities.
Double the tourist inflow in 3 years, double the incomes receipts for FTA in 3 years, double the domestic travels in 3 years. And in 5 years, I want Indian tourism to be a 100 billion economy. Is it possible? Of course it's possible. Is it very difficult? Yes, it's difficult, but I love difficult things. All my life I've tried to do difficult things. There's no easy way. Don't choose the easy way. We can do it and we must do it now. This is one area, adventure tourism, which has immense potential, which can bring in millions of people.
On to the other top story this afternoon. The Enforcement Directorate has attached 4,701 crore rupees worth of assets of Gujarat-based pharmaceutical company Sterling Biotech Group. Now, this is in connection with the 5,000 crore rupees bank fraud money laundering case. The agency issued a provisional freezing order under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act and attached immovable properties and plant and machinery. Around 200 bank accounts of various linked companies and its promoters. Now, this is one of the ED's biggest attachment of assets under the stringent PMLA this year. The ED had registered a criminal case of money laundering against the firm and its promoters in October last year, taking cognizance of a CBI FIR. We'll take a very short break here. We'll be back with more news.
I got a loan from a bank जिससे कि मैंने अपने यहाँ पे बहुत सारा मटेरियल स्टॉक करा. This is how my business is growing.
सरकार जो अभी नीतियाँ कर रही है बहुत बढ़िया कर रही है. उन नीतियों से छोटे-छोटे बिजनेसमैनों को काफ़ी फायदा भी हो रहा है.
प्रधानमंत्री का जो सपना था और है, जो नीचे के लोग उनको उठाना ऊपर, मुद्रा 200% उनके लिए सफल कारगर साबित हुआ.
Watch our special report on how government schemes are empowering young India at the grassroots, only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back after the break, and now an update on the GST revenue collection. And Finance Secretary Hansmukh Adhia today said that the total GST collection for May 2018 is 94,016 crore rupees. In a series of tweets, he said that the May 2018 GST collection was higher than the average monthly collection of 89,885 crore rupees of 2017-18. The number of returns filed for the month of April up to May 31st is 62.46 lakh as against 60.47 lakh that were filed for March till April 30. In April, monthly GST collections for the month of March crossed 1 lakh crore rupees for the first time. The minister added that the buoyancy in the tax revenue of GST reflects the upswing in the economy. 130 farmers' organizations from 7 states under the Rashtriya Kisan Mahasangh are on a 10-day nationwide strike starting from today. Now, their demands include increase of minimum support price to the cost of production plus 50% and a complete loan waiver from the government. Now, supply of farm products like vegetables, grains and milk to the cities is likely to be hit. The 7 states where the protests are being held are Haryana, Rajasthan, Jammu and Kashmir, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Kerala. Meanwhile, in Mandsaur in Madhya Pradesh, the state government has made appropriate security arrangements for the Kisan Avkash. 89 companies of SAF and more than 20,000 Jawans are on duty to deal with any untoward situation. Big story coming from Jammu and Kashmir, where security forces have been put on high alert after large-scale infiltration of militants in the valley across the line of control. The officials have reported the infiltration of over 20 militants into Kashmir from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, and most of the militants are believed to be affiliated to Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed. In Pulwama, today, terrorists lobbed grenades and fired upon a bunker vehicle of the 183 CRPF battalion. Thankfully, no casualty was reported. The security forces also recovered 3 bags containing suspected improvised explosive device during a search operation. The security forces have observed a spike in militant attacks in the state and have been requested to remain on high alert around sensitive security installations across the state. Hotels and guest houses are being checked for the presence of any suspicious persons. Checking and frisking at all the entry points of the states have also been intensified. Let's take a look at some more national news. Let's go nationwide. The price of subsidized LPG cylinders increased in Delhi today, hiking up to rupees 493.5 rupees. Besides Delhi, the new prices for subsidized cylinders are 496.65 in Kolkata, 491.31 rupees in Mumbai and 481.84 rupees in Chennai. The Madras High Court has asked the Tamil Nadu government to explain the circumstances leading to firing in Thoothukudi and has sought a reply from the state government by 6th of June. Remember, 13 people were killed in police firing on 22nd and 23rd of May. And on to our special report. Utilizing the full potential of rivers for transport of goods by developing inland waterways remains one of the key agenda of the Narendra Modi government. The government got the National Waterways Act 2016 passed by Parliament to facilitate the creation of 111 national riverways across the country. And as per reports, 10 out of the total 111 proposed waterways are to become operational by the end of 2018. Rajya Sabha TV tracked the steps taken by the government to promote this sunrise sector. Take a look.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi and French President Emmanuel Macron's boat trip in Ganga River in Varanasi was perhaps more than just optics. It reinforced government seriousness in harnessing inland waterways for commercial purposes. During old days, different river systems around the country were used to ferry passengers and goods. But with the advent of railroad network, water transport gradually lost its relevance, though now its fortunes are on upswing. The current regime moves to exploit full potential of this sector. Currently, work is on to develop 111 national waterways, including 106 new routes. Sectors related to heavy machinery, cement and fertilizers have evinced keen interest to utilize the facilities once the infrastructure is in place. As per the projections, this sector will create more than 1 lakh jobs in near future.
49% capital investment. रोज़गार निर्माण करने पे खर्चा होती है और वहाँ के युवाओं को रोज़गार मिलेगा। दूसरा, वहाँ फिशिंग बढ़ेगा। फिशिंग से भी हमारे मच्छीमार जो है उनको फ़ायदा होगा और उसके साथ साथ उसके रोड के बाजू में इंडस्ट्री आएगी, गोडाउन्स आएंगे, प्रीकूलिंग प्लांट आएंगे, कोल्ड स्टोरेज आएंगे, फ्रूट्स वेजिटेबल एक्सपोर्ट होंगे। एक नया दालन विकास का खुलेगा और मुझे लगता है कि ये बहुत बड़ा गेम चेंजर होगा।
The inland waterways sector remained on back burner since independence. Till 11th plan, it received a meager rupees 1200 for the development. Though now with renewed focus on the sector, the government has allowed Waterways Authority of India to issue bonds worth rupees 1000 crore to rejuvenate it. During 2016-17, the authority raised rupees 340 crores through bonds. The additional fund of rupees 296 crores were given by the government. The budget allocation to the sector is now witnessing consistent spike. While it was earlier rupees 434 crores in 2017-18, it has been raised to rupees 500 crore currently.
हम लोगों ने ऑलरेडी काम शुरू कर दिया है और तकरीबन 18% काम इस पूरे इतने बड़े प्रोजेक्ट का ग्राउंड पर चालू हो चुका है।
India has 14,500 km long waterways that consist of rivers, lakes and backwaters. The current focus of the government is to invest in the most profitable routes. They are Barak in Assam, Hagra in Uttar Pradesh, Kosi in Bihar, Manvi, Juvri and Kambarjua in Goa and Sundarban in West Bengal. There is special focus to develop national waterways, one from Haldia to Allahabad on the lines of dedicated freight corridor. Rupees 5,369 crores have been allocated to create the necessary infrastructure. This project is also receiving financial and technical inputs from the World Bank.
बहुत बड़ा इंजीनियरिंग प्रोजेक्ट हम लोग कर रहे हैं, बड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स और चैलेंजिंग प्रोजेक्ट है। 2000 करोड़ का प्रोजेक्ट ऑलमोस्ट ग्राउंड पे है 5400 में से। ये 4 साल में स्टडीज हुई, क्लियरेंसेस हुए, फाइनेंस का क्लियरेंस हुआ, वर्ल्ड बैंक का अप्रूवल हुआ, कैबिनेट कमेटी का अप्रूवल हुआ और ग्राउंड पे काम शुरू हो गया है।
Currently, the work is on in full swing in National Waterways 4. This route was inaugurated by Honorable Vice President Venkaiah Naidu last year. In India, the inland waterways cargo shipping remains grossly underutilized. It has less than 1% of market share compared to a railroad network. Many countries, including Bangladesh, are way ahead of India on this count. The green shoots are now visible due to active government intervention. In 2014-15, the cargo shipment through inland waterways was 6.33 million tons. It has touched 55.20 million tons in recent times.
हमारी सरकार ने हाईवे, रेलवे, एयरवे, वाटरवे, हाईवे और बिजली से जुड़े इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पर सबसे अधिक ध्यान दिया है। देश के जल शक्ति का भी पूरा इस्तेमाल करने पर जोर दिया जा रहा है। देश में 100 से ज्यादा नए वाटरवेज बनाए जा रहे हैं। यहां यूपी में ही गंगा जी में जहाज चलने लगे हैं, गंगा जी के माध्यम से यूपी सीधा सीधा समंदर से जुड़ने वाला है।
As per the report, the inland waterways outscores railroad network when it comes to economy of construction, movement and cargo shipping. A strong barrage can carry 15 rail wagon or 60 trucks. Keeping in mind the accruing benefits, the government plans to ensure at least 2% market share for the inland waterways in the cargo transport. To ensure this, it's also adding rolling stock like ships and barges on the focused route. Inland waterways has huge potential for tourism. Activities like river cruise, boating, water sports can be major economic spin-off in the chosen region. The Parliamentary Committee on Transport Tourism has thrown its weight behind the development of this sector, which could also be a major hub of job creation. Arvind Kumar Singh's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
On to our top international focus now. The US has slapped tariffs on steel and aluminium imports from the EU, Canada and Mexico. The US has imposed a 25% tax on steel and 10% tax on aluminium imports. Meanwhile, the nations have already announced retaliatory measures as the US follows its new policy. Now, Canada has objected strongly to the announced tariffs, saying that the move is an affront to their nation's military alliance. It said that it will impose retaliatory tariffs on the US. Canada, remember, buys half of the US steel exports. The EU has called the US decision as totally unacceptable. The European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker said that the plan to take the US to the World Trade Organization or the WTO. The Mexico has also said that it will continue negotiating with the US to revamp the North American Free Trade Agreement.
Well, there's overproduction of steel and there's overcapacity throughout the world. And so we have needed to deal with it in a very global manner. You can't just deal with it dealing with one country.
And all the action from the French Open, and Indian tennis ace Rohan Bopanna and his French partner Edward Roger Vasseline have secured their place in the pre-quarter-finals after winning against France's Benjamin Bonzi and Grigor Jacques in the last 32 clash. Rafael Nadal, who hasn't lost a set at the French Open since 2015, completed another win in straight sets to reach the third round. Title challengers Marin Cilic and Dominic Thiem also managed to struggle into the French Open last 32. And in the women's singles, top-ranked Simona Halep, third-seeded Gabrielle Muguruza and two-time champion Maria Sharapova all powered into the French Open's third round with straight set victories. And that's it from me and my team in this edition of Midday News. Thanks for watching.